Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about my lighting setup. It's going to be a 2-point lighting setup for interviews and talking heads or YouTube headpieces. But yeah, let's dive into that now. Before I show you how it is, I've got to set the lights up. So let's quickly set the lights up and then I'll position them and show you exactly where to go to get this lighting setup look. So let's quickly set them up. Prop the camera down by here now. Yeah, just about see me still. So what I'm using the Releno lights. I've got a video on them, I'll leave up in the corner by there. So you can check that video out about why I like these lights. But yeah, they're really good lights and they're really handy to set up. They come in this nice box by here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, let's leave them by there so you can see it a bit more. Yeah, so, and there's the reason why I'm doing two light setup, sorry, is because these are the two lights that I use most of the time for when I'm doing it. And these, you can add a third, you know, a little hair light, rim light, but I think, you know, sometimes you've got to keep it simple, especially with like YouTube. You've got to make it adaptable to the areas you're in. You know, I don't have a lot of room in my apartment, so you know, you've got to keep it adaptable and flexible to the areas you're in. So that's why I think two light setup is the way to go. There's one, get that out of the way, and boom, there's the other. It didn't take long at all, 2 minutes, bam, and the lights are already set up, ready to go. So let's now position them in the way or the place they should be to get this lighting set up correct. This is going to be my background. You've probably seen it a couple of times on my channel, and then this is where I sit, right by here. So I'm going to set it up for how I'm sitting here, and what I tend to do is I look at where the natural light is coming first of all. We're going to turn these house lights off, but where's the natural light coming from? And I try and use the key light to where the natural light's coming from. So say, like, I've got a big window here, so I'm going to put the key light over to the right hand side where the natural light's coming from. Say you don't have any natural light, you know, just figure it out the best to the person's character or where you have the most room and it is not affected. There's no reflections in the camera or anything like that. So the first one I'm going to set up right here because that is where the natural light's coming from. I've set the light up by here, so what I've done is I've turned the temperature to a cool colour. That's because the light outside is a nice cool colour, so I've matched the light in on my key light to that. Also, as you can see, I've put it quite high. Now I've put it quite high at an angle down pointing, so it's going to be to the side and quite high. That's just so it gets a nice cover from the top of the head down, and then you can have a little bit of a shadow in the gap by here. So that is why I put it to the side, so we create a little shadow on this side of the face, but we get a nice bright lit side one side and shadow on the other. So yeah, that's what I do with the key light, nice and high, tilt it down, and then match that color to the natural light or whatever you feel. I think the key for the key light is a nice cool color and it not be too bright to blow out any of the skin tones. This is the side light we're going to use, and what I've done is I've put it about head height and I've directed it in the direction of the sort of back of the head, side of the face. So you don't want it to go really this bit and get in the eye, you want it to like sort of coat this area around here. And what I've done is to add a bit of contrast to the image, I've done it a complete opposite colour. So I've done it orange, so that then we've got the white over there and we've got an orange here, and they should have a nice contrast between the two of them. So I'm going to put this camera on the tripod and let's see how that looks as I've currently set it up. How does this look now? So we've got this nice bright light coming here and we've got this little orange light just glancing on the side of my face by here to add this contrast. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, for my YouTube setup, when I use this background, I only use one light. That is because I like a nice wide perspective, and if I have this light over here, it's in shot. So you've got to adapt your lighting situation to your current surroundings. Right now, all I've done is I've just punched into about a 50mm just so it looks a bit more natural to the eye, and this looks great in interview setups, but like this isn't in there in my YouTube setup. Now the key about lighting is creating depth and character to the image. So as you can see, there's nothing lit on the wall other than this lamp over here. So what I've done is I've used this practical lamp over here to add some depth into the image. Now I think, you know, you could use whatever colour on there, right there, hold that thought. Got this thing and it's great fun. You know, you can change it to red, this one, green, you know, if you wanted you can flash it with a bit of a ray. But no, like this is a nice purple, and we've left it like that just to add a bit of contrast into it. I normally just add it orange, just because that is then contrasting the natural light from the side. So you've got to play around to your situations. Now, you know, you may be in a confined space, so what you can do is then you could have a front light. You know, it doesn't matter about YouTube sort of how you light it, as long as your face is well lit, as long as you can see into the eyes. That is the most important thing, you know, and the content you're creating. However, if this was for an interview setup, you know, you want it to be a bit more professional and look the best you can. So that's why I'd recommend using a lighting setup like this. Now, there's many ways to light a video, and there's no right or wrong way of really doing it. Just we want to avoid creating flat images, which would be front on, etc. So that's why I'd recommend this lighting setup. I really want to see what you guys can do, so hit me up in the comments below and I'd like to see your lighting setups. And if you have any questions about lighting, I'd be more than happy to answer them in the comments below. But yeah, let me know, do you like this setup? Will you use this setup? Are there any other ways? There's plenty of ways to make it look cinematic, but this is the most simple I can make it with the current lights I have, and this is just a 2-light setup. I have plenty of other lights around that we could use, but this is just to make it as easy and straightforward as we can, and that didn't take long at all. That took about 5 minutes to put up and get recording. So that is the most easy way to do it. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed the information I gave you, and if you did, hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate that, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more content like this in the future. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.